We did meet Runaway Genji. He's not in the tips yet because we met him in like the... Yeah, Natsui, whose husband is Kraus. So, should have taken the boat. The boat. Oh, oh, ooh. Maria, that's enough. But what a surprise. I thought there was nothing that could scare Battler-kun. Oh, Barrow, thank you for the posture check and the hydrate. Hey, chat. What's the over-under on Rudolph being a good father? What do you think? Place your bets. Place your votes. What do you think? This guy can't handle vehicles for some reason. Always yells about falling and sinking and stuff. You're a disgrace of a man, you are. Well, there you go. I love when Ryukishi takes the mic and goes, gender, right? Ah, shut up. That thing was seriously shaking way too much. Just got a little stressed since it was my first time on a small plane like that. You call that a little stressed? Sounds like it'd be fun to take an overseas vacation with you, Battler-kun. Would you like to go to Egypt with your aunt? You get to ride a plane for a full 14 hours. There's a good plan. Battler-kun, you should go let Eva Nissan toughen you up some. Still, it's so hilarious. Now. Everyone's got their own strong and weak points. It's bad to laugh at them. Dad, you're laughing too. Hey, Maria-chan, you shouldn't laugh anymore. Shouldn't laugh anymore? Ugh. God damn it. Is being scared of planes really such a big deal? Everyone obviously thinks I'm a big oaf now. Oh my god. What if the fucking... They take a plane, then a boat. What if the car was a fucking... What if it was just the Oishi car? It was just a photo of a real car again. We split up and took separate taxis from the airport to the harbor. From there on, we would be taking a boat to the island. The islands are right next to each other, so the distance of the trip wasn't that great. By boat, it was a leisurely 30 minutes to the island. When we reached the pier where the boat to the island was anchored, we saw a figure waving at us. Yeah, somebody mentioned, forget who it was mentioned, I thought they took a boat, and I was like, I did too. I've read Umineko like 7 times. I thought they took a boat after... Yeah, it was Lily. It's like, don't they take a boat too? And I'm like, oh, they do. It's right here. Jessica! Okay. Chat? I'm gonna warn you, okay? I'm gonna warn you. There's gonna be some... From time to time, Battler is gonna make an off-color joke or two, okay? I'm just gonna warn you. There might be one coming up. So... I mean, Keiichi... Yeah, okay, so... Battler undergoes a lot of character development throughout the series, is all I'm gonna say. You remember Book 2 Keiichi? I don't know that it's worse than Book 2 Keiichi. I don't know that it's worse than Book 2 Keiichi. It's horny jokes, yes. It's horny jokes, but... Okay. George Nissan! It's been so freaking long! Ah, Jessica-chan, it's been a year since I saw you. You've gotten taller again, haven't you? Don't give me that. It's embarrassing when you say it every year. Hey, Aniki, you gotta be kidding me. Is that really Jessica? Wait a second, George. Is that big guy... Battler? Okay, he might make some horny jokes about people related to him. It's unfortunate, but it is what it is. We both stared at each other. She definitely didn't look like that in my memories, but I do remember her crazy way of talking. Yo, Jessica! What's this now? You're kidding me, you look like a woman now. What are these, boobs? Even you managed to get a chest. So, I'm gonna read that out loud, but Vine Boom. Don't screw around with me, I'm a blushing flower of 18. Of course my hair grew longer and I got these. What, you think I got boobs just to get fondled by you, loser? And speaking of you, sure, you got all ridiculously huge, but did you get a bit stronger too? Don't screw with me, I'll show you how much training I've done since back then. You're pissing me off. I'll beat you at your own game. So the thing, like, okay, I genuinely don't think Battler would make jokes like that at people that would be bothered by them, but they're still a bit unfortunate. I just wanted to give you a heads up. This headstrong girl's name is Jessica. She was born under the same unlucky star as me, sharing the same kind of weird name. Anyway, Jessica is pronounced Jessica. She's Dad's older brother's daughter. Come on, don't... That's such a weird way to word that. That older brother happens to be the oldest son of the Ushiromiya family, so for now, it means Jessica is the direct family heir. Ushiromiya Jessica. Heir to the Ushiromiya clan. Since Jessica and I are the same age, and sometimes had a little boy-girl squabbles with each other, we've already been used to fighting and joking around together whenever the relatives gather. Jessica grew more quickly, so she always had me beat in terms of size and physical strength. When we scuffled in a contest of strength, it usually went Jessica's way. So even though I realized I'd grown bigger, part of my mind was still convinced that I couldn't beat Jessica. What are you getting all serious for? Ow, ow, ow. Hey, this is nothing. Jessica, you've gotten weak. In the anime, and in all animated things of this, they do the wrestling test of strength. They, like, interlock each other's fingers and just, like, try to see which of them can push each other back, like sumo style. It's pretty cute, honestly. Shut up. I'm a girl, so of course I couldn't beat a guy with physical strength forever, right? Well, you got a point there. The meat I put on my arms all went to your chest. It looks like it'd be a pretty even test of strength between my arms and your boobs, don't you think? I told you, my boobs aren't for you to feel up. Besides, how about you? Did your cute little elephant son get a bit bigger too to go with the rest of you? This is genuinely, this is just Keiichi and Mion in book 1, actually. I actually think it's like a direct callback to it. It's the exact words Mion uses. Stop it, idiot! You perv! I'll be ruined for marriage! Don't touch my crotch! I actually love you, Battler. Fucking rules. Don't say stuff people are gonna misinterpret. Like, imagine if Keiichi did that every time Mion started fucking with him. That'd be so funny. Honestly, I was so surprised at how feminine Jessica had become that I had to joke around like an idiot to hide it. The proxy community forgives Battler. Well, considering what a bossy brat she was 6 years ago, anyone would be surprised. And I guess she's just as surprised. She probably wasn't expecting to lose to me in a test of strength. After losing that easily, she must be shocked at how much I've grown in the past 6 years. 6 years. Once again, I'm being shown just what a huge gap of time that was. Crap. Total defeat. It's like I'm no match for you anymore. That's not true. Even Battler-kun must have his weaknesses. Right, Maria-chan? Ugh! Fall! Fall! Shh! Cut it out, Maria. Let's keep that a secret, okay? Fall? The hell are you talking about? Sorry, but there's no chance you'll see that weakness of mine now. After all, the nightmare plane trip is already over and done with. Only thing left is the nice, quiet splashing of the boat ride. I never thought I'd start loving that piece of junk boat this much. Huh? George Nissan, is there something wrong with his head? You'll understand soon. Very soon. At the time, I didn't get what Aniki meant by that big smile. What have we here? Oh! Battler-san, how big you've grown! Who's it this time? It's an old lady with an apron. Oh yeah, that takes me back. I remember now. You remember her, right? It's Kumasawa-san, the servant. Okay, I don't know that. Listen to Kumasawa's theme. Why does it sound so much like Infinite Corridor? I could never forget you, Kumasawa-bachan. After all, you haven't aged a bit in these past 6 years. If anything, I'd say you're looking younger than ever. Okay, Battler has his flaws, but I have to admit that I absolutely love Battler. He's such he's such a skrunkly. Bachan like a Bachan, yeah. It is a slightly more affectionate, less mean way of calling somebody an old lady. Oh. Lately, my skin's been getting quite smooth and silky. And look, hasn't my chest gotten bigger as well? How'd you like a little feel? You're kidding, right? My breast fondling is strictly limited to bouncy girls. Oh, I was quite bouncy in my youth. Don't be shy, fondle to your heart's content. Give me a break. It's girls I'm looking for, not grannies. Battler, no balls. The jokes I'd cracked about Jessica were being turned against me. Come to think of it, Kumasawa has always been the type to tease people. Kumasawa-san, stop that now. People with one foot in the coffin shouldn't jump around. Man, fuck you, Rudolph. I fucking hate you so much. I can't pretend. I'm trying not to, like, spoil anything, and, like, I'm not. I just fucking hate Rudolph so much. Piece of shit. Hate this old bastard. Wow, I'm so Battler-pilled. That was just Battler dialogue. To sport with the young is the most rejuvenating medicine. I think this is read-through 4. I think this is my 4th reading of Umineko. It's rare for you to come pick us up, Kumasawa-san. I wonder what's gotten into you. Usually your lumbago kicks in whenever someone gives you a job to do. Eva-sama, you're as harsh as ever. Look at that Eva face! Look at that Eva face! That absolute Eva face. Takano moment. I found myself with some urgent purchases to make, and while I was at it, I thought I would come welcome you all. Although it does give a bad impression if the one waiting to greet you is a decrepit old woman. Aunt Ava spoke sarcastically, but Kumasawa-bachan's years of experience were nothing to sneeze at. She was more than capable of smoothly and coolly deflecting that comment. Well, it feels bad to say it, but old Kumasawa-bachan may be past her prime as a servant. She might act as though she's in good health, but between the headaches and her lumbago, her body is wearing out. To tell the truth, the very fact that she's still working is impressive. Yeah, it's fucked up and weird. She looks like she's 70. How old is she this year again? She must be pushing 80 at least. It's incredible that she's still able to act so cheerily. You just seem to get more and more lively. Oh, that's right, here you are. It's the tea I told you about before. Look, I bought you some. Please do try it later on. Aunt Rosa took out a souvenir bag from her suitcase. To think that she remembered a promise that she'd apparently made last year and faithfully bought it. This sort of thoughtfulness was just like Aunt Rosa. She wasn't the kind of person who would forget or break a promise. Kumasawa Bachan seemed deeply touched, not only that Aunt Rosa had remembered this year's promise, but she would bring a gift to a simple servant like her. This woman is Kumasawa Chiyo-san. She's a senior servant who's been working at the Ushiromiya head family household for many years. As you'd expect from someone her age, manual labor isn't her strong point, but she's kind of a super servant who can handle just about anything else, from kitchen work to cleaning and laundry. It seems like her only flaw is a tendency to slack off. She's 80! I heard she tries to get away from heavy or troublesome work by playing up her chronic diseases. She's 80! In Kumasawa Bachan's case, this was probably a sign of craftiness rather than laziness. Though it probably doesn't impress those paying her salary. Oh well, even if she's pretty flaky when it comes to work, I could never dislike her. I guess that's probably because of her cheerfulness and her constant smile. She just may have chronic diseases. I mean, this is the thing, because Battler seems to be a pretty good kid overall, but he is also born into an incredibly wealthy family. So he's like, oh, you know these servants, always pretending like due to being 80 years old they have chronic diseases. I still like her anyway, though. Unlike my family, I would never dislike her for pretending to have chronic diseases. Hey, glad to see you're still in fine spirits. How's your back doing then? Even with the medicine, it's not getting one whit better. According to the doctor, nothing can be done for this one. It's what you might call an incurable disease. Anyway, Jessica-chan just keeps getting prettier. Good thing she takes after Natsui-ne-san. Really? Personally, I don't think we look alike at all. I mean, I don't even want to be like my parents. Because I got zero respect for him. Let's go, Jessica! We haven't even met her parents yet. Hey, what if Sonozaki Mion had almost zero maturity? Now, you shouldn't say such things. Though there are quite a few people who don't want to be like their parents in our family. Ah, that's me! Yeah, Battler, that was the bit! You sure as hell better not take after me. Your nose looking like mine already pisses me off. What are you talking about? You're surprisingly alike, you and Father. Come on, you can't be serious. Just how am I like Dad? You're a lot like him, especially in how arrogant and prideful you are. Father's blood is especially strong in you and Nissan. Wouldn't you say, Rosa? Oh, absolutely. Cross Nissan and Rudolph Nissan are almost unbelievably like Dad. Alright, already. Why am I the only one under fire for the girls? Hideyoshi Nissan, give me a hand, please. My, Rudolph-kun, you're always so popular with the ladies. I'm jealous. So if you hear anything voiced, Hideyoshi is just yelling the whole time. It's so funny. As usual, you're popular enough to make me jealous. Well then, everyone, shall we head over to the boat? Come now, Maria-san, let's get on the boat together, okay? Get on the boat together. Oh! Everyone gets on together. Oh! Thank you, Archie. I'm doing my best. I really like that, like, all the characters have, like, their own, laughs that are, like, phonetically spelled out, so you know how to do them. Battler's got his... Battler's such a scamp. Hell yeah, this time around I'm not gonna be scared. I'm used to being shaken by the waves. With that piece of junk fishing boat, I'm less afraid of the shaking than the engine breaking down and the boat drifting off. Oh, yes, Battler-kun, I forgot to tell you. That fishing boat was completely worn out, so it was taken out of commission a few years back. Now we get taken to the island in a different boat. Oh, right. It's Battler's first time in the new boat. It's super comfy. And frickin' fast. It can go at crazy high speeds. Oh. That means less travel time, right? That sounds great. Having to worry about sinking is less scary than being on a plane, but it'd still be awesome to get it over with as quickly as possible. Ugh. Is Battler gonna go fall again? That's only on airplanes. Everything's fine now. Anyway, it's the captain's pride and joy, a kind of modded high-speed boat. Seems he's got it pretty souped up. He was bragging about how he attached 4 base high-efficiency propellers to make it break 40 knots or something like that. He talks about it all the time, so I sort of memorized the spiel. Yeah, I've got it memorized too, since we hear about it every year. The captain says he's been obsessed with modding ever since he lost a speed contest with a foreign boat ages ago. According to him, that opponent managed to break 30 knots with just a fishing boat. And his thirst for a revenge match got him to build an awesome all-new super high-speed modded boat. I'm sure he'll just love it, Battler. 40 knots is very, very fast. Oh, I bet. Is George's suit supposed to be yellow or green? I think yellow. There's always, like, the one character who just has my voice, and this time it's Jessica. Super high-speed modded boat? My first thought was that this would be much better than some beat-up boat that might sink at any moment. But for some reason I got this feeling of foreboding. Probably just overthinking it. Yeah, it is like a yellow-green, right? A chartreuse, even? Hey, Battler, maybe you should just swim to the island. Battler-kun, you shouldn't lean over the railing too much. You might fall. Ooh, fall. Damn it! So this is why you were all grinning back there. So this is the super high-speed boat that the captain started modding. Oh, yes, that piece of junk fishing boat from 6 years ago doesn't hold a candle to this guy. Whoa, it's shaking! Gonna fall! Ooh. Gonna fall! If I fall, I'll land in the ocean and drown. Where's the parachute? I mean, where's the buoy? Give me a life jacket! Battler, what the heck are you doing that for? Jessica-chan, Maria-chan, it's not nice to tease. Battler-kun, if you're scared, then just don't come out on the deck. I think you'll be able to calm down a bit if you go inside the boat. That's a no thank you, Aniki. Shipwreck victims are always the ones inside the boat. The survivors are usually those on the deck during the accident. So I'm staying right here. But it's shaking. I'm gonna fall. Ah! Maria has extreme echolalia. Yeah, like, good catch. Shake! Gonna fall! Ooh. Maria, I told you to behave yourself. But Atlas-kun, it looks like you really can't handle it. I'll go tell the captain to slow down for you. Oh, Aunt Rosa, thank you! I can tell you now that safe, slow driving is definitely the way to go, even on the sea! Don't do that, Rosa. Trials and tribulations are important for young men. Isn't that right, Battler-kun? You'd better be able to overcome a little scare like this. Otherwise, you'll never be able to go to Egypt with your aunt. Oh, Aunt Ava, you're so mean! Oh no, I'm gonna fall! Life jacket, parachute! Ah! Wait, gotta spin it around and think that way. What's the enemy aiming for? Is he doing this to scare me? If that's what he's aiming for, too bad. Like hell, I'll be scared! But no, I'm gonna fall! So good. So, after I made a huge fool of myself for a while, Aunt Rosa had a talk with the boat captain, and he slowed down to a more manageable speed for me. Thank you, Harsh. I did hydrate regular. Please hydrate using the ocean. Listen, that's hard to do. It's a picture, isn't it? Oh my god, he's so handsome. That's a bit better. This is my son. Thought I was gonna die earlier. Apparently the max speed I can tolerate is extremely slow. Battler is the main character, yeah. But that just now was completely insane. The whole boat was shaking, sliding and leaping on the ocean surface. It felt like I was riding on the back of a flying fish. Don't listen to this narc cop drink seawater. Jessica was still guffawing at me as I leaned against the railing, tired and disheartened. I lost in that strength contest earlier, but I'm glad to know that I'm no worse off where it really counts. But seriously... Damn it, go ahead and laugh. One of these days, I'm gonna find your weakness and get back. I'm not gonna read that line, Battler. Yeah, sure, good luck with that. Ugh. Battler, all weak. Holy shit, Maria. Bro. Yeah, Battler, all weak. I want to die on land, not in the ocean or the sky. Maria was patting my back, so I patted her head in return. Her expression was blank as usual, but I realized that she wanted to console me. Battler-kun, the captain's throwing in drinks to make up for this. Would you like one to calm yourself down? Yeah, Battler's great. Battler's my son. George Aniki and Kumasawa Bachan brought us all ice-cold cans of soft drinks covered with beads of water. Judging from Kumasawa-san's big grin, our parents inside the boat were probably all rolling around laughing at my moments of pure terror. Damn, the resemblance is true. Battler does have my hair. Damn it, I'm so embarrassed I can't bear to face any of them. If I didn't change the subject somehow, I had the feeling I'd be the butt of everyone's jokes for the whole trip, so I tried to think of something harmless to talk about. Let's see how this goes. Hey, Jessica, how are Uncle Kraus and Aunt Natsuhi doing? My old man and Mom? Unfortunately, they're fine. Fucking love you, Jessica. Oh, every other word out of their mouths is study, study, which pisses me off. I'm so jealous since it doesn't look like Uncle Hideyoshi or Uncle Rudolph would say stuff like that. Oh no. Before I had my exams, my parents kept pressing me about it over and over. I thought it was annoying then, but now I'm grateful. God, George, you're such a narc. So boring. I knew it. You really are awesome, Aniki. Anyway, I have to look after myself. No one tells me what to do. Well, it's not like I'd listen if they did. Battler-san, have you still not returned to your parents' home? Well, I kinda go back now and then. I've got lots of clothes and stuff left at the house I was living in until recently. Ooh? Battler has 2 houses? Something like that. Why? Why do you have 2 houses? Only Maria, who couldn't really grasp the situation, voiced this naive question. However, the others just shot nervous glances at me, choosing not to respond even though they knew the answer. Maria! Look, you can see the harbor now. Look, over there. Can you see it? Ooh! Saw the harbor! Saw the harbor! I need to put Maria in my pocket. She's perfect. Imagine Mormon George. It's too easy to imagine and I hate it. Apparently, Jessica was trying to be nice by changing the subject. Ah, well. I'd rather not talk about it if I can help it, but it's uncomfortable to have it treated like some kind of weird taboo. Look at Rockinjima! Oh, it's perfect. Welcome to Rockinjima moment. I don't mind it that much myself anymore. I may be a member of the Ushiramiya family, but the truth is that for these last 6 years, I've been living with my grandparents on my late mother's side, even though I've been using her and I've even been using her family name. When those grandparents passed away one after the other, I basically had no choice but to go back and live with the old bastard. Don't get me wrong, I didn't just run away from home or anything like that. The only one at fault here is my dad. I thought you were saying... Oh my god, Harish, that's incredible. I don't really blame Kirie-san. Being able to hold that old bastard's reins and ride him out is no mean feat. Do you have to word it like that? Still, the way the old bastard betrayed my mom... Well, unfortunately, I still haven't fully gotten over that. And that's it! We'll come back to that topic another time. We'll be getting there soon. George Aniki cleared his throat, trying to change the subject. Please forgive my indiscretion. It seems this old woman has said too much already. If I have hurt your feelings... I don't mind it, and no one's feelings are hurt. Don't worry, Kumasawa-bachan. Kumasawa-san seemed to regret speaking out of turn, but I was more concerned about being worried over something like that, so I stood up and passed it off lightly. After that, I had a sip of my drink and headed over to Maria and Jessica, who were gazing at the silhouette of the island. Ooh, Battler, I saw the island! Saw the island! There! There! Ooh! Where is it? Oh, I see now. Even after 6 years, the island hasn't changed a bit. For those who are just coming in, you haven't missed too much. A bunch of cousins and aunts and uncles are going to this remote island, which is the head of the family lives there. They're going for the annual family conference to talk about something, and Battler has been not hanging out with the family for the past 6 years, so he hasn't seen anybody in 6 years. He's kind of our point of view character in that way, because he has to get reintroduced to everything. You know how it is. Oh. I am so mentally ill about this island, I genuinely love it so much. I only love Hinamizawa more than this place. It's the only fictional place I love more. But I do love this place a lot. The small island silhouette in front of us had gotten pretty close. This island's name is Rockinjima. It's a small island about 10 kilometers around, located in the Izu archipelago. Since they call this archipelago the Izu 7, lots of people think there are only 7 islands, but that's not true. There's actually several more, and Rokijima is one of the minor islands that don't get counted. Even if that weren't the case, I doubt you'd find many people who knew about this island. Only people connected to the Ushiramiya family ever go there. In other words, outsiders and tourists never have any reason to care about it. So you'll never find this island's name in a travel brochure. After all of Rakanjima is an estate possessed by the Ushiramiya head family. Oh, did you know that? They own the island. Only the Ushiramiya family lives there, and only people connected to the Ushiramiya family come and go to and from there. There's nothing there except a harbor and a mansion. The vast majority of the island is still just uncultivated forest. Such a waste when it could be made into a nice golf course or something. God, Battler's so rich person-brained. Oh, that's so hard to read. However, when you realize that the entire coastline is a private beach, it starts to sound pretty magnificent. You've probably guessed by now, but to put it simply, well, the Ushiramiya family is just rolling in dough. The head family apparently possesses a vast fortune, and Dad and the others who make up the branch families have built up plenty of wealth for themselves, finding success in their respective businesses. I've been living a commoner's life at my grandparents' home these 6 years, so I'd completely forgotten. But the old bastard's house really is elegant, and everything about it is tuned to match the snobbish tastes of the annoyingly rich. So, like, Battler thinks he knows. I mean, golf is fun. It's just bad that natural areas get turned into golf courses. But golf is fun. Come to think of it, I guess that makes George, Aniki, Jessica, Maria, and me wealthy, high-class gentlemen and ladies. Needless to say, none of us think of ourselves that way at all. Okay, George does. You really do. George really does think that he is, though. Listen to him. You saw him. I don't see myself as being rich, and George Aniki, who takes self-discipline very seriously, doesn't let himself get too comfortable. Jessica is always complaining that she'd rather move to the city than be rich. And Maria is still a kid who isn't even interested in money at all. Does that attitude really make us any less snobbish? From the perspective of people in poverty who can't pay the bills, we really have been blessed with a lot. There you go, Battler. Look at this. He's like, wait a minute. Is that anything? We don't care about our money. Does that make us better? Maybe it doesn't. This isn't the place to explain any further, so I won't. Anyway, it's the same as not being able to choose the parents you're born from. I didn't ask to be born into a rich family, and I don't think it's really something to be envied. It can be pretty trying when people are prejudiced against you just because you're rich and refuse to judge you by your merits. Battler, I'm gonna... As I pondered these sentimental thoughts, Maria started shouting and leaned over the railing. Ugh. Gone. What's wrong, Maria? Did you drop something? Ooh. Gone. Ooh. Maria kept yelling, gone. At first it sounded as though she had dropped something, but while she shouted, she also pointed out over the ocean. Battler's zipper being across? Yeah, it's out of control. It's so dripped out. What's wrong? What's gone? I'll look for it too if you want. What is it? Huh? If she dropped something, she probably would have looked down at the floor, but Maria was pointing out over the ocean. So also, we have these like full art CG screens. Some of them will have characters in them. I modded those in too. They look fucking really great. One would assume by that gesture that she had spotted something, but she kept saying that something wasn't there. Strange. However, since my last memories of this place came from 6 years ago, I was able to spot it before Aniki, who comes here every year. Huh? If I remember correctly, wasn't there a torii or something on top of a small crag around here? That's right, it was definitely here. I remember it well, since as we got closer to the island, it's the first thing to greet us, like a landmark. A torii, if you don't know, is a shrine gate. It's those big gates that are in front of shrines. It's like on the island near the cliff. Wow, you're amazing, Battler. Even though it's been 6 years, you remembered. It was here, wasn't it? I remember too. The tutelary god's shrine and that Torii-like thing were standing all alone on that crag. And now that you mention it, they are gone, aren't they? I'm pretty sure they were still there last year. Oh, nice Torii emote. Gone. Gone. Oh. Maybe they were washed away by the waves or something. It was a small crag, so it probably got worn away over time. Well, that's my theory too. It was last summer that it disappeared. But they say an enormous lightning bolt came down one evening and smashed the shrine. The fishermen whisper that having a thunderbolt fall upon our honored tutelary god must be a portent of an approaching misfortune. Kuwabara, Kuwabara. Kumasawa-san smiled impishly as if teasing us, rubbing her hands together while intoning a Japanese phrase meant to ward off lightning. However, Maria apparently took this seriously, and stared fixedly over the ocean to where the crag housing the shrine god was supposed to be. A portent of misfortune. Ugh. Enough, Kumasawa-san. Maria isn't old enough to get that kind of joke. It's okay, Maria-chan. It's just a coincidence. Nothing scary's gonna happen. George Aniki put a hand on Maria's shoulder to calm her down, but Maria's sharp-eyed expression didn't waver. Misfortune. Misfortune. Maria muttered that word over and over. Apparently, repeating a single word over and over is a habit that Maria's had for a long time. However, since the word she was saying was literally an ill omen, it was a bit creepy. Maria's little thing is very good. Hey now, Maria. If you say it over and over like that, misfortune really will end up happening, you know? I tapped Maria's other shoulder. Maria whipped her head around, stared into my face, and spoke unblinkingly. Ugh. Misfortune is coming. Huh? And just where is it coming from? I answered lightheartedly, trying to break the tension in the air. At that moment, Maria held up a finger, raised her arm high, and pointed up to the heavens. When I looked up, I saw that the sky was still just as cloudy, but it had grown a great deal more leaden than it had been this morning. That's right, they were saying that a typhoon was approaching. We had planned to spend one night on the island, but if this storm doesn't pass quickly, I won't be able to make it to school on Monday. Well, I guess it makes for a pretty good excuse to be absent. Ugh. She apparently sensed some kind of misfortune in this cloudy sky. She's been muttering that non-stop for a while now. No, Archie, you're good. Girls at Maria's age tend to be very impressionable. She's just about the age that many girls start to get excited about sixth senses and whether or not they have any psychic potential and stuff. For all we know, this might be due to her childish, sensitive nature. It's okay, Maria-chan. The weather might get worse tonight, but tomorrow it'll clear up and become a pretty blue sky. Ugh. Pretty blue sky. Ugh. That's right. By tomorrow it'll be a pretty blue sky. There's no rain that doesn't end, and no clouds that never clear. Ugh. Rain that doesn't end. Clouds that never clear. Ugh. I know the typhoon's coming, but soon it'll go away. It'll be okay, Maria. Ugh. 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 Maria started yelling, ugh. It looked as though she was having a tantrum because no one could understand what she was trying to say. Oh, God, poor Maria. I guess, like, general content warning for, like, an autistic 9-year-old not being able to communicate. Yeah, it can be a little rough. What in the world is Maria so desperately trying to warn us about? Yeah, for everyone who picked up the, like, subtext that Maria is autistic, she absolutely is. Unable to understand her, we couldn't help but feel a vague sense of misfortune. I've heard that everyone can feel the supernatural, but that it weakens as you age. That might mean that Maria, the youngest one of us all, still possessed some kind of sense that the rest of us had lost. I wonder if that sense is sending her a warning. At that moment, Kumasawa-san quietly opened her mouth. Kumasawa? Could you not? Rumor has it that long ago, Rakanjima was... Kumasawa-san, let's not talk about that now. Just as Kumasawa was about to tell some kind of story, Jessica sharply interrupted her. Jessica's tone was extremely firm for her. I wanted to push her further, just out of simple curiosity, but judging by the look on Jessica's face, whatever Kumasawa-bachan was likely to say would probably make Maria even more uneasy. If I did try to press her for the story, the odds were pretty good that it wouldn't be anything bright and cheery. I do apologize about that. The wind here is hard to bear for the elderly, so if you would excuse me for now. Gossipers have no reason to hang around after they've been told to stop chatting. When Kumasawa-san finally realized she'd overstepped her bounds, she went back inside the boat. Jessica's just looking at me. Look at Jessica looking at me. After she left, Uncle Hideyoshi showed up in her place. Since he'd arrived mid-conversation, he completely failed to notice the complicated atmosphere that hung around the scene. So he refreshingly and unwittingly swept that atmosphere aside. Hideyoshi is so uncle-pilled. This is one of the uncles of all time. So in the end, it was his lack of tact that brightened the mood. Looks like we're almost there. Okay, just a bit more. Took forever at the speed we went today, didn't it? Wonder whose fault that was. Uncle Hideyoshi, give me a break already. Come on, don't stop there. Seriously, thanks to Battler here, it's taken forever. Ugh. Mari probably thought that everyone was refusing to listen to her. She hung her head, wearing a fretful expression. As she did, George Aniki crouched down to meet her eyes and spoke to her kindly. Maria-chan, there's nothing to be afraid of. Because we're all together. There's nothing to be afraid of if we're together. Go ahead and say it. Ugh. There's nothing to be afraid of if we're together. Yes. There's nothing to be afraid of if we're with each other. Ugh. That's right, exactly what George Aniki said. If we stick together, there'll never be anything at all to be afraid of. Right, Jessica? Yeah, no doubt about that. What George Nissan says is always true, Maria. Ugh. George Oni-chan always true. Yes, I don't lie. So trust me, there's nothing to be afraid of if we're all together. Ugh. George Oni-chan doesn't lie. I trust you. There's nothing to be afraid of if we're all together. Ugh, not afraid. Maria jumped into George Aniki's arms and hugged him tightly. Ah! I love you so much, Maria. Oh, my little scrimbly. My little scrimbo. After Aniki patted her head, she jumped away again. Her facial expression had undergone a 180-degree change, turning back to normal. She was once again the ordinary Maria. Ugh. There's nothing to be afraid of anymore, because we're together. Ugh. Yeah, that's it. You look all better now. You're strong, and that's awesome. Ugh. I'm awesome. Oh, Maria. Ah, Maria, I love you so much. Hey now, what's going on here? Maria-chan didn't get seasick, did she? Hmm? Well, something like that. We'll be arriving soon. The harbor was already drawing near. Umineko, when they cry.